Hey guys, good afternoon. Today I wanted to go through and answer a lot of the questions I've been getting about Beautiful You Academy. So for those of you who don't know, I'll just do a quick introduction since I'm going live on my page and not everyone's seeing all the same information. Beautiful You Academy is launching next week. It is a 3-month intimate group program for women who are experiencing stress, anxiety, overwhelm, like loss of energy, loss of inspiration, motivation, and helps you take all that and shift it into confidence, authenticity, relaxation. It's really all about, to me, it's really all about connecting to that most true and authentic self, which is what so many of us are missing because we're always waiting for happiness to come to us and we're not cultivating it from within. And really creating a life that you love right now, right? So it's not about racing through the day and ticking off the check marks and just surviving your life. It's about thriving, right? Really being your best self and being able to enjoy your life now without waiting for the promotion or being full-time in your business, or I was just talking about with someone being our health goals, right? We always have some goal that we're working towards that we think oh, then I'll be happy, right? But you guys all know that happiness doesn't last. It's really fleeting. We move on and we're yeah, of course I hit that goal. I'm awesome. Time to move on to something else. And our expectations for ourselves go up. And it's just this never ending cycle of never feeling good enough. So that is why I built this entire program. So for you guys to be able to experience the change that I've had in my life, to go from every day waking up and just being shit, what day is it? Oh crap, this is my 12-hour day. I have a million things to do, damn it. And just getting up, running out the door and just bang, 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 one thing, another thing. Right? Because that's no way to experience life. We only have one shot at this. And I know all of you guys know that. We all know, but we don't connect to that really often. We're always it can wait. Whatever it is, we put ourselves off always. So that's how I really developed this program. And I'll get into this a little bit, but it's very much built off my one-to-one program that I work with clients as well. So what I wanted to do today was go through some of the questions that I've been getting about the program and kind of put it all out there. So hopefully if you are having some of these similar questions, you can get them addressed, and we'll just kind of do a broad sweep and hopefully hit everyone at once. So obviously 3 months, it's a 12-week program. So every week there's a different module released. And we go through all of those trainings. Every other week we do a group coaching call. So we all get together and speak, and actually what's awesome is we can see each other. And that's what I love about this online program, is that it's very intimate. We all get to know each other, which is why I keep it to a small number of people, super small, so that we can all really experience that connection. So yeah, 12 weeks long, weekly module for training, and then bi-monthly coaching call. So every other week we do a group coaching call. And then we have live guest expert trainings, which are really awesome. And I'm excited to talk about that a little bit more today too. But those will be about once a month. And then you also have 3 one-to-one coaching sessions with me. And what I love about that is that that's really for whatever, as you're working through everything and maybe you're struggling with a certain piece and it's just not coming together for you, we can use those sessions to bust through whatever it is, so that you really feel confident that you can take the next step and get to the next module and really feel empowered through this training. So yeah, what I'm really excited about this time is this launch. I'm offering the 3 one-to-one sessions with me. So I love that we get to talk, we get to know each other, I get to learn about your business and where you are right now. And if you are booking within this week, then you actually get a 4th session, which is really cool. So we'll do that right off the bat so that we can have that kind of introduction session. And I know some people have already asked, like, can I decide when I want to use these one-to-one sessions? Yes, of course, right? Like, I don't make you get to schedule them when you want, basically. I encourage you not to like stack them all up and use them all at once. But I love doing like, especially an intro session, like early on, so that we can get to know like what your challenges are. What have you struggled with most with your anxiety? Where is it impacting most? Like, is it impacting your business, or is it maybe a relationship, or is it that feeling of self-worth or self-love? So we can already kind of dive in and like get really deep into whatever that is. And then I also love, it's worked out really well to have like sessions towards the end to kind of like seal off and really, trying to think of what the right word is for this, but basically like consolidate all of that and help you kind of create a plan for going forward and feeling really confident that like if anxiety creeps up again, because inevitably we all experience stress and anxiety, like how am I going to handle that? Like what's my plan for down the road? So yeah, you can use the sessions whenever you want, but those are kind of my recommendations. Let's see, I have a question about, okay, so how is this different from the one-to-one program that I already offer? So the one-to-one program is really individualized. We meet every week, and that training is like whatever you need in the moment, and very in depth. They're both 3 months, but both of them offer that individualized support. You get to speak with me. We have those coaching calls one-to-one. To me, the benefit of doing the group, like I love my one-to-one coaching, but I think the group like has its own, like serves its own purpose. The group is awesome because you get to hear the experiences of the other women and what they're going through with their stress and anxiety, and like hear about what's working for them, and also like create this area where you can support other women in areas where you have like gained and like easily moved through a module, and you're like, oh, this is what worked, or this is what I've heard other people work, and like it's this area of support that's much larger, right? It's like this larger brain for us all to share and learn from. I also think the group calls are incredible for that same reason. We get to speak with each other, and you get to hear the experiences of other women and what they're going through. And to me, that's so freaking powerful because like you're not alone, right? Like for me, I struggle with my own anxiety for so long because I was like, man, am I the only one struggling with this? Like I knew other people were stressed, but I didn't know that like all of these symptoms just kind of added up, and eventually I put it together. But there were things that like I didn't relate to it, like my stomach being really irritable. I didn't think that had anything to do with my stress or my anxiety, right? So being able to hear other people speak about their experiences, like we're all a little bit different. So that's why I love that group atmosphere for normalizing what's going on for you. And then of course, one thing that's in one of the things that's in the group program that's not in my one-to-one is the live guest expert training. And those are so much fun. I have a few different people lined up. I have one definitely confirmed, scheduled in first week. It's going to be really awesome. And then I have other ideas. So what's going to be cool about that is I'm going to put them out there and we can vote on it, and you guys can kind of decide like what fits best for this group program. Because that's what I love, is that we go through this together and you guys can kind of like change things and decide what you want. And it's very flexible in that way. So that is how they kind of differ, but they're obviously very similar in the fact that they really address a lot of the same things, and there's that individualized support with both. Like you get one-to-one time with me. Okay, so one of the questions I've gotten is like, why, like what does a group program do for me, right? So I've talked to you guys pretty extensively, at least, about my own experience. I'm sorry, my pen's getting crazy. My own experience with stress and anxiety, right? Like it was debilitating for so long. It made me irritable. I was rude to people because I was so anxious, and I held on to this like perfectionist like ideal that like if I'm perfect and I don't screw up, then no one will be upset with me and I can be okay, right? But that didn't lead to like this happiness. It was just like constantly rushing around trying to meet everyone else's expectations. and I was drained energy wise. Like I had no energy. Like when I went to start building my business, it was like a roller coaster, because like some days I'd be like, oh, okay, I feel good, I'm feeling okay. But then like one little thing would go wrong. And if you're building a business, like, if like things do go wrong, right? People say no, your Facebook ads get screwed up. Mine did last week and it was a headache, and I was like, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But the reality is, unless we have that it doesn't really matter mindset, like every little thing becomes huge and like completely overwhelming, and it stops us from making progress because we're just like, oh, I can't take it. I can't take another person saying no. I don't want to reach out anymore. I can't get all these things done, because even in your own business, you still have stuff you're doing for other people, right? Because you have like, a design artist who's creating stuff for you, or like my website designer who I need to get stuff to for, right? So we still have obligations and deadlines, but the reality is like we have to be able to like roll with the punches, because they happen in business all the time. So the reality is like I wasn't willing to compromise my relationships or my business, and especially not my health any longer, because I knew, especially with my health, I was getting stress headaches, and we know that like stress in general, like being in this anxious state, it releases like cortisol in our system that is like so bad, so toxic, right? It's meant to be like let's do something like fight or flight, we got to survive kind of moment. But if we're just flooding our body with it constantly, it takes a huge toll. They've linked stress, like prolonged periods of stress, to heart disease, asthma, diabetes, obviously high blood pressure, things like that are not good. So for me, it was like I've always been really into staying healthy and eating right and like exercising all the time. That I knew like I knew I wasn't gonna keep doing that anymore. I needed to take control of how I wanted to feel and who I wanted to be in my life so that I could build the life I wanted. So yeah, I mean, the reason that a coaching program is so helpful is that like it takes you from this place of like, I'm not sure I'm good enough. I feel anxious constantly, but I feel like it's normal. It's like we know it's not, but society is like, oh, everyone's stressed. Everyone's running around like crazy. Like, you're fine. Just keep going. Like, the coaching program is just that step to take you from like, you don't have to feel this way any longer. You don't have to feel the anxiety, the overwhelm, the loss of energy, the feeling of dread. Like, if that's what you're experiencing, then this group program is perfect for you, right? Because you deserve more, and you do. Like, we all do. We're all like, I feel unfulfilled. Like, I was just writing an email earlier where I talked about the like, oh no, I think it was Instagram, but I was talking about that like itchy feeling of not feeling fulfilled and like moving from thing to thing to thing. Like, oh, well, maybe I just need to change my job, or maybe I need to move, or maybe I should go back to school, right? Like, we're just like, or like, I'm going to just do something completely different, or I'm going to change what I'm doing in my business and like shift my business around. Like, we just like get to this place of like, it's like something's missing, something's not quite right, not really sure which path to go down, right? And like, that's that feeling of unfulfilled, right? Like, it's not coming from within. So we're just looking around and outside of us and saying like, maybe if I just do this, then I'll get there. Honestly, that fulfillment, that love, and strong sense of like peace, and just it's honestly, to me, it's this feeling of like content, like just knowing that I am enough and I'm perfect even though I'm flawed, right? Like, that to me is creating the life I want and who I want to be. So, when you think about what you want, if where you are isn't good enough and you're dealing with this anxiety, then yes, group coaching is wonderful, because it helps you to unnormalize all of those things about that stress is okay, and shift you into like, I can feel different. I'm empowered to feel different, and I know I can. So that's why I love the group programs. They're so supportive. I honestly, I've been in 2 group programs and do one-to-one coaching for myself personally. And I cannot even imagine my experience without the group program. Like, it just wouldn't be the same, because I love hearing where other people are at. And like, even if it doesn't pertain to me, like within what I'm working on at that moment, it's always like, I'm just always like learning these new little bits that I write down. I'm like, okay, when I get to this point, like, make sure I do this. Like, so it's just incredible. Like, to me, I loved it so much. And that's why I was so excited to put this together. The coaching calls. I had a question about that. I'm not sure if I've addressed it already, but basically the coaching calls are the every other week time block for us to all get on the phone, on the video call together. We all get to see each other, talk, and celebrate what's going well, and also talk about whatever challenges we're facing currently so that we can get more support. So I'm there to answer questions, but I also love to hear you guys support each other. And like, tell people what you're doing and what you've tried, what's worked. So to me, those are like one of the biggest benefits of the program. The live trainings are also awesome. Those both obviously happen live. The coaching calls, not pre-recorded, because I'm really answering your guys' questions. I have had a question about whether if you miss the coaching call or a live guest expert training, like what to do. So you don't like lose out completely. I record them and post them within the private Facebook group, so you can access them when you can get to it. I do highly encourage you to show up live. The reality is, like, you are making this huge investment in who you want to be and like in the self-growth and like journey. So like, this is where a lot of the magic happens, like in consolidating what you've learned and like having further questions asked and that sort of thing. So show up. Like, if you can show up, like, make it a priority. Like, this is about making you a priority, because you deserve it. And this is your life. So like, if you're going to take this step to like be who you want to be and make a change, then like, let's fully commit, people. So I do record them so you can always access them later. And, if you can't make a live guest expert training, you can always post your questions ahead of time. Like, you guys will get to decide kind of who you want the next few guest experts to be. So you'll know what they're going to be talking about, and you can like post some questions. A lot of people come on to do the training like that anyway, because they want to personalize it to you anyway. Right? So you can always have your question answered, even if you're not live. But again, like, it's so much better to hear the follow-up and hear other people's questions and have it like trigger something in you. So yeah, I'm trying to think. I think I covered everything that I have on this sheet for questions I've been asked. If you guys have anything, comment below, and I'm happy to answer them. The early bird pricing is ending, okay? So this is your time. Like, if you're sitting on the fence and you're like, I love what Chelsea's talking about with Beautifully You Academy, but I'm not sure, like, book your call in right now, because, like, honestly, like, what are you waiting for? Are you going to wait 3 months and, like, still be okay with feeling the way you are now? What about a year? What about in 5 more years, right? Imagining waking up again and again feeling this way and living your life this way, it's not only unbearable to imagine, like, as I think about how I used to feel and like just thinking in the future, like, this is what my life is going to be, it's freaking unbearable. It's also unacceptable. Like, there's no reason. Like, you deserve to wake up, love your life, feel relaxed, confident, like, truly like own who you are, and not be afraid to share that. I see so many women struggle with it, right? We're always trying to like hide our flaws and look perfect and put on this like freaking show of who we are. And to me, like, the most connected and the most happy I always am is when people are like really real with me. And we have like a legit conversation. And I'm like, oh wow, like, I didn't know that was happening for you. Like, I'm like so amazed. And to me, like, that's that's what's incredible. When we can like really like bare our souls and show who we are and not have to like fake being a wife or fake being a sister or like put on this like costume and this mask. Like that's just I mean I remember doing it. Like that's how painful it is for me because I had to pretend and fake it, and it didn't help me get closer to anyone in my life, and it didn't help me build the business I have now, because people want to know you, right? Like that's what draws them to you. That's how you do business. You know, people are always looking for that connection, because aside from like eating and, you know, water and shelter, we need to be connected to other people. Like we desire it so strongly. Like being isolated, that's why like putting people in isolation is like the worst thing you can do to them, because we need it so desperately, so strongly. So yeah, like the idea of living that way any longer is just so intolerable. It hurts me to think about it for myself, and it hurts me to think about it for you. Like the reality is like it's time to take action. Like don't miss out on this program, because it's everything you need to go from anxiety, overwhelm, irritable, tired, to this confidence, this laughter. Like enjoy the life you have. There's only one of them, right? Enjoy it now, right? Don't wait for something else to happen. Don't wait for happiness to come and hit you on the head, because it doesn't come from the things around us. It comes from within us, right? That's where that fulfillment comes from. So don't wait. Pricing's going up. So book your call now. Claim your spot, because like I said, this is an intimate program. I want everyone to know each other, to get the support they need. And book your call today, because the pricing is going to go up at midnight tonight. So if you get your call booked in, even if your call is set for tomorrow, that's fine. But book your call, reserve that like at the price where it's at now. Okay? Because there's no reason. Like don't wait. Don't wait like a couple more days and then pay more. Like that's silly. Like take advantage of this intimate program, of this price that it's at now, and book your call today. Okay? Any more questions, comment below and let me know, and I'll check back later and answer them and get back to you, and I'll post the link to book your call so you guys can get in this program and make this change, right? You deserve it. Talk to you guys later. Enjoy your afternoon.